Hello, I am applying for the STEAM team, and I sent you this link because this is my most creative way that I can transport my answers. So before I actually answer the questions, I just want to say I want to apply to the STEAM team because I feel like it gives me a chance to use my creative side. And in regular school, it's more so like, here's a worksheet, you do that for a while, and you can't really do anything else creative. You don't really get projects. You don't include both of the two different, like, math and language arts together. You don't do that. It's just, they're separate things and you do them separately, and I really don't like that. I'd like all of my classes to be combined, and I use science with my math and social studies with my math and science with my social studies, and I like to combine each other and use my creative side as well as my brain side. Okay, so number 1 is describe a recent situation where you took a leadership role. So I'm going to use an example from my YouTube channel, which is what you're on right now. Me and my friend, Ansley, we did this video for a sleepover, and I just saw the camera, asked my mom if I could use it. She didn't know what I was going to do, but she let me use it, and me and my friend just, bam, did it. So you may be like, that's not really being a leader. You two are working together. That's teamwork. That's not being a leader. She didn't know what to do. She wanted to ask my mom about what to do, where to find things, and I basically just said, no, I know where that is. I can help. I know how to turn on this camera. I know what to do if the battery dies. Don't worry. And then I made sure that we got enough films so my mom could actually make a YouTube video that was good. To be a leader, it's not just to be powerful over other people. It's to make sure that they get a turn being the leader as well. You have to be a leader, you have to be a follower as well. So I was going to do this one thing, and she's like, I wouldn't really watch that if I was going to do it. So then I took that information and I asked her, so what would you watch if you were watching this YouTube video? What would you close out on? She's like, I wouldn't do hair. I don't really like to do that. I just don't. I wouldn't watch it. And I'm like, okay, so what would you watch? And we went through it and found out what she wouldn't watch and I wouldn't watch, and combined both of our opinions to create a good YouTube video. But that's what I think a leader is. I think a leader has to be a follower as well as just a leader. So number 2 is describe your comfort level with technology. Include a list of technology that you currently use. So I'm going to answer the first part of this question first. Describe your comfort level with technology. So sometimes I can be both. If my friends ask me, hey, how do you zoom in? How do you zoom out? Then I'll look at their computer, see if it's any different from mine, and then I'll show them, okay, you hit that button, then you go to zoom. Then they do it, oh, thanks. And you're welcome. So at that time, I can be, woo, I feel victorious, but at times when they're like, how do you X out of the screen? Psst, help me. And I don't know what to do. If it doesn't look like my computer, if there's no big red X, I can't help you, sort of thing. I can be a 10, like the zoom in or zoom out, and at times I can be a 0 when I don't know how to X out of something, when there's not a big red X on the screen. Include a list of technology that you currently use. I currently use my phone, my iPad, the camera I'm using, and another camera we have. I'm also currently using, what is it called? I use a GoPro, and I also use a lot of my teachers got the grant for the computers, so I use both of their computers as well. So I think that that's pretty much it for all the technology I frequently use. Okay, number 3, the final question. Describe your most creative project and how it challenged you. Okay, so I think my most creative project was my earthquakes project for science, Miss Short. I think it challenged me for many ways, one of which I felt like the time limit was crazy. But I know if I do get into STEAM team, if I do, that I will always be in a time crunch, and I will always have to be, you will only get a week to do this huge project that was probably way bigger than my little project sort of thing. So I'm prepared for that, but I'm prepared for it now that I did that earthquake project. It was also really creative for me because I used a lot of materials that I wasn't used to using. I craft a lot. I craft for my Barbies. I craft for my dolls. I craft for myself. I just do crafts. I'm very creative in the craft world. And I wasn't used to using a box cutter. I didn't know how to use it. I stabbed myself a few times. It was not pleasant. But, I mean, that was another way it challenged me because I wasn't used to using the tools, the materials. It just wasn't as... I didn't know how to use the printer. I needed it a lot. And my parents weren't there to help me because they're both at work. So I kind of had to figure it out. So I think that is all my answers to the following questions. Thank you for considering me as an option. And I hope that I meet your standards enough. Thank you for watching. Bye. Because I was working so hard, and sometimes I stayed up later than my bedtime. I know, I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry. Like, she'd put me to bed, and then the day before, I'd turn on my light, shut my door, and work on my project to make sure that it was the best that it could be, sort of thing.